So, thank you all for joining us today. I'm Hannah from the Bangor Public Library, and we're excited to have another installment in our series with SCORE Northern Maine. And today we're going to have Tracy Eau Claire here to talk about marketing without money. Um, I will be sure to send out this recording as well as Tracy's slides if she's able to share them to everybody afterwards. And I will hand it over to Donna from SCORE to share a little bit about what SCORE does and then introduce Tracy.
Thanks, Hannah. Really appreciate the partnership we have with the Bangor Public Library. I'm Donna Cassesi. I'm a SCORE volunteer. For those of you who don't know about SCORE, we have about 120 volunteers in the state of Maine, and we will help people start a business, grow a business, or sell their business. So we're kind of with people for the life of their business. It's all free. And we can help people with marketing, with funding, with putting together business plans, helping out with developing loan proposals. So if anyone who's attending today has an interest in getting some advice from SCORE, all you have to do is go to score.org, and there's a little button that says I'm requesting a mentor, and that will get you into the program. So would love to work with people. So today I'm really excited about how can you not love no money marketing, right? I'm sure that most of the people on the call don't have unlimited budgets for marketing, but they probably have unlimited needs for marketing. So we were really fortunate to get Tracy Eau Claire today. She's the founder of TOC Media. She's very experienced in digital marketing. And I didn't even know there was such a thing, Tracy, but she's a constant contact authorized expert. So that's pretty impressive. So with that, I will turn it over to Tracy.
Thank you, Donna, and thank you, Hannah, for having me. Um, so my name's Tracy Oakley. I'm just gonna tell everybody a little bit more about myself, and then we'll get into things. I own a digital marketing agency. It located, well, we're headquartered in Winslow, Maine, but I've been virtual for about a little over 10 years before virtual got cool with COVID. Um, and so I we do a lot of content marketing, lead generation for small businesses. But as you know, small businesses can go from, like I have $0 to I'm pretty sure they clarify it. But Donna, you'll correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's under 5 million in sales.
Huh?
Is that correct?
Yes. Yep.
So I don't have $1 million. So I'm definitely a small business. Um, but we do content marketing, and that's like blogging, email marketing, social media, digital marketing. Where I strive and where I love is, social media marketing. However, I do also strive in strategy. I have a 4-year degree in marketing management from Thomas College in Waterville. And fun fact, my daughter goes there now. She's a senior, and she's studying business. You can reach out to me on all the networks, and you can add me. You just look for Tracy Eau Claire. That's my handle for the company. It's Talk Media. A lot of people call it TOC, which is kind of like our nickname. And so I'm just gonna get into it. We are very, very fortunate these days that we can do some marketing without money. It's just more of your time. One of the things actually I would like to ask if you guys can add into the comments is like if you own a business currently, what is it and what do you do? And then Hannah's going to look at that, and that will just give me a better idea as to like how to customize this talk to you guys. Also, we're definitely welcome to ask questions. Or you're welcome to ask questions within the chat, and then throughout the presentation, and then we'll also have Q&A at the end. So no question is a stupid question. Um, so I like to just have like a little brief slide to let everybody know that you need to believe in yourself and your business. And then when you're a small business owner, like I started my business in 2010. I was broke. Somebody called me and was like, "Hey, you want to do marketing for me?" Not that I hadn't worked, but I was kind of like in a spot, where life happened. And so I started working with Northeast Laboratories in Winslow, Maine, as a marketing manager. And then I started doing social media breakfast, which I know they have that in Bangor as well. But it was really big back when I first started my business in 2010. And started doing presentations for just bringing people in that are marketers throughout the state of Maine, like Sugarloaf and car dealers and things of that just to interview them, and they would do a presentation on whatever it is. I did that in collaboration with Thomas College. And then what happened after that is that I started to get a deal in with Constant Contact. They started doing their authorized local expert program where they wanted people, local business people, to go out and like teach people about Constant Contact. So when I did my first presentation, I was really scared because I've never done, public speaking. I can talk all day long, but you put me up on stage, I'm like, oh shit. So I went to like this group that was for speaking, and I realized quickly that like, okay, I can do a little bit better than that. So what I did is I created a Facebook class at the Hampton Inn in Waterville and just charged people $50. It was the first time I ever did a workshop just to force myself to get ready for my interview with Constant Contact. And then from there, I went on and just bootstrapped. People were starting to call me because I was doing social media breakfast. I was starting to do things. And that's really the nature of like content marketing, where you do and you put out the content that you want to attract. So the more you tell people about your business, the more people are going to come in and be curious. And what I've learned over the years is that people buy from people they trust, and small businesses always try to do everything before they pay out to do it, because that just makes sense, right? You're a small business, you're trying to get up on your feet, you're still learning all the things about being a small business, like HR and finance and everything you don't want to do. So what I would like to say is, throughout this presentation, just make sure that you, or don't make sure, but just get some inspiration and know that it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to be authentic. It's okay to, sell what you're selling. So you got to look at it is you found a marketplace and you have a product and service, a product or service that you can fill, and it's going to help people, right? So I feel like a lot of small business owners are like, I don't price high enough, or they just don't know their value, or they feel inadequate. But there are people out there that will buy, and you'll know because they're buying. So just find more of those people. Um, so that's my little thing, my little spew about it. And then make sure that you evolve and adapt. And I have a slide on that later, just about looking at your analytics and make changes and things of that nature. And you want to be yourself and be authentic, but you also want to stay on topic when you're marketing directly to your audience. So there's like, if you have a Facebook profile for yourself, then that's where you be everything you know what I'm saying? Gardening, this is my grandchild, so on and so forth. And there are crossovers with your brand. But if you're trying to build the brand, you don't want to be putting like, you could do like marriage stuff or whatnot, or life announcements over on the business page, but you don't want your whole thing to be about yourself unless you're a personal coach or something like that. So you want to talk about what you're actually selling, right? So because it will steer people off from your business pages. It's like almost like bait and switch. Like, hey, I'm selling pencils today, but I decided that here's a big picture of a whale, you know. But if you put a pencil in front of that whale, now it's relevant. So, so there's so many ways to go about it, in being creative, and that sometimes is hard for people. Um, so, what I think that the most important thing to market without any money is that you have to define things. You have to know, what are your resources? What are you selling? Are you selling a product? Are you selling a service? Are you selling both? Don't get too crazy. Focus on your main primary money making thing. And then you need to know, like, who's your target market? Who are they? And nobody should ever say everybody. Okay. Not everybody drinks coffee. Not everybody owns a car or can afford one. Not everybody's buying a house. So I would look at, what is your primary demographic? So if you already have a business and you've been in business for a little while and you've had even five clients, then I would look at them and think, are these male? How old are they? What is their pain? Why are they buying from me? What is the benefit of them buying from me? Um, Other things that you need to know, like I said, is your resources. How much time do you have? Like, are you married with five children? Or are you single and with no responsibilities but a dog? What are you? This is big. Do you have a full time job? and this is your side hustle and you're looking to grow it. So you really need to know how much time you have, and then what do you have for resources. These could be people. I do not like it when people say, the girl next door does websites, or my friend's kid does websites. But look at those people that do have skills that you could ask questions. Maybe they can't help you, but maybe they're willing to kind of guide you for free. So that's good. Know what's available in your community, because that's going to be important. Who are the people like SCORE and small business development centers that can give you some information? I mean, everything's volunteer at both of those programs, but they have a vast majority of data that they can help you out. They can help you with a business plan. They can help you with market research, so on and so forth. Um, are you good at technology, or are you not good at technology? That makes a big difference. Are you introverted, or are you not, or you're extroverted? That makes a big difference with sales and marketing. Because sometimes you're starting a business maybe because you love what this side hustle, like making furniture or something. And then but you love making furniture. You don't like dealing with the finances or the sales or the marketing or whatnot. So just know where your weaknesses are and know where your strengths are, and try to maximize it. Maximize your strengths, obviously, but also work on your weaknesses, because weaknesses is just a lot of it's just practice, learned behavior. So if you just create habits for yourself, like set yourself up for success, that's going to help. And the more you do, the better you're going to get at it. With digital marketing, you have to be in it to win it. You have to be there in it on a regular basis. I wouldn't say you have to be in there daily, but technology is changing so fast that if you're not there for a week, there's things happening with technology. The buttons are different. For instance, I go into a lot of people's Google accounts and Facebook accounts and so on and so forth, and everything's different, like with every account, because when they roll out like beta tests or new products, or they update certain things, they only update to a certain amount of people. So that's why one day you go in and the button's in a different place. Um, but then the next day it might not be there at all. So there's all of that. And then find out who your partners and your vendors are. So if you already have partners or people that you work with or really good friends with other businesses, tapping into their audience is going to be great. Or collaborating with them, so on and so forth. So again, questions, if you have them, throw them into the comments. And Hannah, I'll follow up with you. Did anybody say what their business is in there?
Yeah, we've got some really cool things in here. So,
I'm excited.
uh, we have Gaiety Theater Nonprofit Theater Restoration, Dead River Lodge in West Forks, and Lakes Region Boat and RV Storage in Smithfield. Winthrop
Nice.
Workspace, which is a co-working space, and then that same person also works as a tech coach and is looking for marketing both of those businesses. Uh,
Did
someone
it
who
say where the
works
co-working space is?
Winthrop.
Oh, Winthrop. Good to
Mhm.
know. I'm not far from there.
There you go. Always on the lookout. There's someone who works at Salmonics. They create biomedical products from salmon blood, looking to increase marketing and spread awareness of their product. Main concern, expanding sales. And someone who's been running a boat tour business for about 9 years now.
That's great. That's an amazing group of people. I'm so happy. So let me try to use that in my presentation. um, all right, we're gonna click through. So the biggest thing is that you want to make sure you have an online presence. And since this is marketing with no money, or no money marketing is what I like to call it, um, we're looking for free things, right? We don't want to spend a dime, but we are going to have to spend some time, right? Um, so if you don't have a website, there's ways that you can get your in the comments, can we ask if they have websites, or write your website in the comment? um, so basically, if you don't have a website, you need to create some type of online presence, because people are going to start to look you up, right? And they want to be able to find you, and that could be social media. One of the things that I think everybody needs to get straight is, especially I've been in Google like way too much this week already. But my new clients that come to me, they always seem to have Google problems in regards to the Google business profile. So back in the day, it used to be Google My Business, and basically, when you create a profile on Google, it's the map. It shows up on the map. So when you're searching for things on like Google Maps or whatever, that's how it gets there. So everybody should have a Google business profile, even if you're a service, because you don't have to put your address in there. You should also, I recommend and highly recommend that you have a Gmail account just for business. And then if you have your personal Gmail account, then that's okay to connect it to products. But all of your business's stuff should be on one Gmail account because there's multiple products for Google. So there's Google My Business Profile, then there's YouTube, there's Google Analytics, there's like just a bunch of products. But Google Business Profile will pop up if you don't have a website, as you know, and then as you may know because you've been searching. Is what I'm assuming. So when you open your Google Business Profile, just go through all the settings, make sure that you have everything correct, get your address correct, make sure when you just a side note, sometimes I interrupt myself, but like when you're writing any type of listing, you want to make sure that your name is spelled exactly how you spell it on every single listing because Google will notice that. And then your phone number and your address. So don't say lane when it means road, or maybe always spell out road just because so that way Google will know that that's the same business versus somebody else's business. So fill out your Google business profile with your own dedicated business Gmail account and then get it verified. Sometimes that's really complicated. For some reason, everybody seems to have a problem with it. But sometimes it's a phone number. Sometimes you need to wait for a piece of mail. And I'm not exactly sure because I haven't verified one recently. But my client yesterday told me that you can verify it with like a video now. Not positive about that. Other things that you can do is that you can list your business in multiple free sites. Yelp, Angie. I'm pretty sure Angie's free. You can, and I found out like a month ago when I was at a chamber event in Waterville that small businesses can list their name with the Better Business Bureau. So that's great to know. I thought that was only for like, bigger businesses, but that's very reputable site. Yelp, Nextdoor is like I haven't been in there, but it's like for constructions and the trades and whatnot. So any listings, even the local chambers. So if you're a chamber member, make sure your listing updated on there. Make sure your listing is updated on any of your trade associations. So whether you're in construction or in the yacht club, I guess, the boat tour club. But there's usually a trade association for everything. But if you're not a member, because we're not spending money today, maybe there's some type of free listing out there. I wouldn't go crazy, but at least do the basics. And what that does is when somebody searches your name, now you're on this reputable site, usually Facebook or LinkedIn, but you're on Google, and Google should pop up in the search results for free. So it's like free advertising. It's no money marketing. Um, so the other thing is that there are free website platforms. I just Googled it, but I didn't like verify everything. WordPress.com. It's just you're going to get the branding of like whatever it is that you're using for the software. So I'm pretty sure WordPress.com, it doesn't look as professional, but if you need a website and then switch it over to a paid website later, then I think that's a good platform. But also if you're not tech savvy, it's just hard to make a website, period, if you're not like tech savvy. But having a landing page is great. So all you need on your landing page, I mean, it doesn't have to look pretty. It can be like coming soon to a theater near you. Here's my contact information. This is what we do. That's it. Call me with a call to action or whatever it is. So just get your online presence started. And I would recommend with Google Business Profile. The other one was Square Online and Wix. They apparently have free places that you can go in there and make a website. All right, up next, maybe. Hold on, I'm waiting for it to turn. Okay, here we go. So after doing your Google business profile and making sure, and even if you already created it and you haven't looked at it for a long time, you should probably go back and make sure that it's verified and everything, and that you've done everything properly. Then I would create a profile on all of the largest websites that there are, right? Which would be social media. So I usually set up based on who you are. So if you're in the tourism business, if you're in coaching, basically all of these sites are relevant. You can at least set up an account on Facebook, Instagram, uh, LinkedIn. I didn't put LinkedIn. Oh, I did put LinkedIn here. LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok. Um, YouTube might not be your forte later on, but if you can secure your username and everyone, so like I've secured Tracy O'Clair with everything, but it was back in the day, and then I've secured Talk Media with everything for the username. A lot of people will go in and create a Facebook page, but not add a username, which is very important because once you have that, you have that, and then now you actually have a URL that has your business name in it. I mean, you might have to short code, but I would try to keep it as consistent as possible. It doesn't have to necessarily be your name because if your name's like A plus Windows, like there's probably a million of them out there. So go in, create all of your digital marketing profiles, which are basically these logos here. You can leave off YouTube and TikTok if you're just not that far into it. I mean, the idea is I'm assuming every business that you mentioned, Hannah, is like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. And the good thing about LinkedIn is just having a profile, you don't really have to do anything. You don't have to do anything with any of them once you set them up. I mean, the point is that you're going to, right? But I mean, once you set them up, as long as they're there for life. You got them, unless you delete them. So do optimize the settings. So you want to go through, create your bios. There's certain settings that change on a regular basis. For can in the comments, can everybody say like who's on Facebook, what they're using for social media accounts currently for their business, or and say if it's business or personal, because some people probably are like adamant on Facebook, but don't use it for business or whatever. And then Hannah, let me know if anything's coming through. Okay, so where was I? Oh, go through all your settings, create your bios. So and then find out like what the settings look like. So there's so many different ways, and the settings again change all the time. But I would look at mostly the forward facing stuff, your notifications. Like for instance, I have a bunch of different Facebook pages that come to my that I'm attached to for my personal Facebook, but I don't like all of those pages notification coming to my personal. Make sure you set it up on mobile as well as setting it up on your desktop or your laptop, because the mobile apps are different than desktop, or I call it desktop, but I want to call it laptop. So play with it both, and then check your notifications, check your settings, log in. I would like to see if you're doing no money marketing and you're not doing any other marketing. Like I'd like to see you check your main accounts on a daily basis without getting addicted to them. Because that's something you can do. Hopefully not while driving, but like at the doctor's appointment or while you're waiting and you're kind of in dead time. Do that's that. Grow your online community. So we're going to talk about social media first because that's like my specialty, and so I'm just going to put it there. Then we'll talk about some like offline stuff that you can do for marketing, no money marketing. So some of the things for engagement, that if you do have business pages like on Facebook, you can go in, and some people are probably already doing this, but it definitely should be done to grow your online community. This is to go in, and anytime somebody reacts, so if they like heart, care, angry, whatever it is, on your Facebook post, you can click into those reactions, and then you can invite them to follow your page. I don't think I put Facebook events in here, but if you have if you have any event and it's like consumer based, like business to customer, to consumer versus business to business, because on Facebook there's not, it's not necessarily a bunch of business people. Well, there are, but but not as much as LinkedIn. So and I'll touch base on the platforms real quick, but if you have an event, create an event on Facebook and you can actually invite up to 500 of your Facebook followers from your business page, which is nice. And then you can also invite a lot of people from your personal page. And anytime you post in the discussions, they're going to get a notification. So it's basically like a one-to-one communication because they're getting a notification. So I find that a lot of people miss out on creating those Facebook events early enough in order to get that extra marketing. And then if you're posting from different accounts, like your personal account, into a group, you can basically do the same thing and gain those followers. Join Facebook groups, because which some Facebook groups will allow you to join with your business page, which is nice. Obviously, you want to look at the rules about not spamming, not promoting, so on and so forth. But these are all just little techniques to like grow your online audience. Tag people, tag your partners, your vendors, because then it opens it up to their audience, and then you're getting more exposure. Ask questions, so on and so forth. But I want to slip back to this slide real quick because I didn't give you guys the rundown, and I'm not sure how many people actually are familiar with social media. So basically with LinkedIn, if you're not on LinkedIn, it's all business professionals. So and it's a lot of people just kind of sharing knowledge and showing achievements. So it's a little intimidating sometimes. But if you're a business owner, you should be on LinkedIn for your personal, at least personal, because basically the way I look at it is LinkedIn is the only one that identifies people that actually have jobs and money. So that's a good thing, right? If you're selling anything. With Facebook, at this point, my daughter's basically tells me that all old people are on Facebook, but I don't know what she considers old. Um, but basically, it is 40 plus, I would say, but it's up to 65 plus too. So you have that older generation, still very valuable for brands. It doesn't matter if you're consumer facing; it's very valuable for that. It's good in the trades for people that are less tech savvy. And that's that. So I like to look at like Facebook is like you went to a fair or carnival or whatever it is, and then LinkedIn's like you went to a chamber event, and then Instagram is where I would say the kids, but like kind of migrated to Instagram. So I think we're looking at college kids and then even young. I would say college kids. I'm not exactly sure where like the other kids are because I'm not on those platforms. But like high school to college kids, from what I know, are on Instagram. Snapchat is one thing that we're not talking about here because I don't feel like it's valuable at this point for small businesses. TikTok is for exposure, but again, it's more of an educational thing. Like the coaching guy that was in there, he definitely should be on TikTok and YouTube doing video because that's going to be very beneficial for him. The boats tours, depending on where they're marketing to, they should be on TikTok because it's just really easy to catch, out of state, national audience, and things of that nature. I mean, basically everybody should be on TikTok, but you don't have to push yourself to get there. YouTube is big right now. It's owned by Google. There's a lot of ways to get your business out there. It's just the marketing is really hard, and it's hard to create video if you're not familiar with it, and if you're not, and if you just don't have the time. But one thing I would like to say is that while you're going through your daily life, you should be taking content like video, photos, and then you can utilize them later. All right. Any questions or people or answers in there?
Yeah, so most folks are mentioning Facebook, LinkedIn, Facebook, only personal accounts so far, no business on social yet. Facebook, have profiles on most platforms, but mostly focus on Facebook. So that definitely seems to be the comfort zone of people that are already using some of these platforms.
That makes sense. I'm gonna keep going. Maybe my clicker's not working. All right, so let's just get into the formats and kind of like how to create and publish engaging content. Also, I'd like a question. I'd like some answers about: are you actively using social media? Yes or no? Because that's going to make a difference. Because if you're not actively using it, then you don't really know what's going on in there. So I would say actively. I mean, it's free marketing, right? We are no money marketing. You can market if you only have a personal account. Tell people what you're doing. Tell people that you started a new business. Let them know that now you're selling this. Ask people questions. I love asking questions that I really want an answer to. I wouldn't just ask a question because about something personal, too personal, but also like if I'm curious about audience and trying to figure out, for instance, I run some motorcycle events and whatnot, and in Frederick County, Maryland. And so one of the questions I have is like, who's hosting events? Are there set dates for these events? Because I want to create a calendar that I can add to a website for a motorcycle shop down here. And so, that is a valid question that's going to get answers. They're excited and it gets people excited. And it also gets people excited by telling people what you're doing. So that can be on your personal accounts if you don't have a business page. And in some incidents, you want to utilize your personal account more than you do your brand. Like, are you planning on selling your business? That would be, you know what I'm saying? What's your overall goal? And I know a lot of people might not think that way at this point. But don't feel like you're forced to do two things if you're only available and have the resources and the knowledge to do one thing at a time. So work on your personal page, maybe your personal profile on Facebook without add a business page, but don't actively work it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to take baby steps and figure out what's right for you. Um, but for the most part, there's video, text posts, and photos. I guess I didn't put everything in there because, like on Facebook, there's reels, there's stories, there's polls, there's so much more. And from all the data that I'm reading and from my own experience, the more you post, the more you go. So just try every format that's available. I know influencers out there that they're just doing everything Facebook tells them to do because they're making money off Facebook because you can't monetize Facebook as well. And one of the guys was like, I made $500 off one post and it was just a text post. So it's not that I think people should be chasing after money on like monetizing the sites as content providers, or creators, but definitely you just need to start posting if you're not posting on a regular basis. You can pre-schedule things. There's a bunch of tools out there, probably not free, but you can pre-schedule directly in Facebook now on your business pages. It's a little complicated to figure out, but it's not that hard. Because I do recommend that small business owners like post ahead of time for some things and then do the natural stuff or the spontaneous stuff throughout the day. Um, some of the things that you want to do. Oh, excuse me. I need to cough. I need some water. So I would create some type of like in your head thinking about it, but also might want to run it, write it down to kind of brainstorm like content guidelines. Like what is my voice and tone? Um, does anybody here use like any AI products like Chat GPT, Gemini, Copilot? Let me know, Hannah, when you find out. Um, because you can use those, but if nobody's using them, to help you can basically use AI products or services to help you develop the tone and the voice.
Yeah,
Um,
Tracy, if I could jump in here, that's one of the
sure.
things SCORE has been working on with our clients is actually using AI to develop business plans, to develop
Yes.
brochures. If you put in information about your business and say, hey, can you please create an ad for me? Or can you please do this? It'll come back and it might say, well, I don't have enough information. I have a client who has a flower cutting business, and what kind of flowers do you want to sell? And so then they put in pictures of those kinds of flowers. So it's not quite as intimidating as it seems, but I think AI can absolutely help you build content, particularly if you're sharing with it what kind of content you want to share. So that really is an opportunity.
And if you want to learn about some of the potential drawbacks of AI, you can come to my avoiding AI class. There
I
are some
like it.
responses in the chat about folks who say they've used ChatGPT a little bit. Peter says, I too have profiles on most platforms, but I find I don't have the time to manage all the socials. because I have 10 plus hats to wear as a small business owner, payroll,
Yeah.
employee management. My socials end up being too low on the to-do list.
That's understandable. That happens a lot. And that's the thing is like what I recommend is going in, setting time aside every week and pre-scheduling things. So at least you have something going on there. And then collect content as you're running through. I know it's so hard for so many business owners to like stop and actually take a picture of a box that came in from UPS. You know what I'm saying? But those are the things that you're looking for because that will help you if you have a database of, just even in your photos on your phone that of a video or something that happened because your customers think so much more about it. Like, how was the food made? They like behind the scenes, they like the stories, and you can find a lot of stories within any business. So, like, I don't typically pre-think my stories. I'm just like, I post a lot. So I'm just like, hi. And plus, so I'm just like, working on this. This is my new goal or whatever. And I'm personally am trying to just start getting into video as well. But I've done events and video marketing on events and so on and so forth. And it's just a matter of catching small little clips and then posting them when you get a chance to. But back to the most important thing is that you do need it because you're going to be crying about it when your sales are low in the wintertime, like whatever it is. So, and it's free marketing. It's free marketing. So, so if you can allocate it to somebody, that'd be great. If not, then just try to schedule 2 posts a week, pre-schedule them. So you have something going out. Um, so, all right. Do. Oh, no, I'm back. I don't know where I am. Sorry. Oh, maybe I should just click these. Um, but yeah, back to Chat GPT. I'm on the fence about it. I mean, I obviously use it, but I know enough that to know that it's dangerous. So there are risks, especially if you have data coming into it. But it's great for marketing. I mean, our jobs are going to be gone as marketers. Once AI does everything. Basically, I mean, it's pretty much already doing it. They just don't have everything down packed. But it's good to like write a paragraph and then put it in there and just say like, what's the tone and voice of this? This is me, or give them some writing or talk about something, and then have that. But you'll learn as you go. You'll know. In regards to formatting, like on Facebook, you just want to make like show pictures, show video, but have something logical in your text too. So don't just be like, here's a picture, here's a picture, here's a picture. This picture one, this picture two, like being like super, just be descriptive. This is what we did. We're so excited that this came in. And then make sure that you're using call to actions too when you're in there. Oh, which is my next slide. um,
Tracy, are you
so
open to a question now if someone has one, or do
yes,
you want to? Okay.
yeah, I'm
So
totally open.
Alex wrote, my target audience is web developers. This year I found most traditional posting to get in front of my audience is extremely limited. Any thoughts on this? And they mentioned Reddit, Stack Overflow, and Discord.
Okay, so web developers are very hard to get a hold of because they are so techy. They don't have any like regular fluff and they're introverts. So that is probably going to be like getting in. I don't can I ask what he's selling?
Alex, feel free to
Or
unmute
Alex,
yourself
yeah, yeah.
if you wanna just jump in and chat a little bit more about your question.
Okay, hi. I'm Alex. Yeah, so I just offer advanced web development services. I've been doing this for a really long time, and I am pretty good at bailing people out and actually making things better when things get really hairy. So, yeah, so I used to be able to just post and get attention on sort of the traditional outlets and, now X and things like this. But I've noticed this
Hmm.
year in particular, any kind of posting is seen as promotion and you get shut down immediately. I've been able to
Hmm.
get maybe one or two posts out, and that's it. It's
Well, the biggest no, yeah. So I
yeah,
think that yeah, it's hard to cut through. I think the biggest thing is you're gonna have to go more guerrilla marketing and go to the exact places where these people are in
I
groups.
do. I
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm talking about is that even these places, they are very hip to even sort of side posting where you talk about a technical aspect of this or that that people are working on to get attention on yourself and your services, they shut this down immediately. This is really new this year. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, it's hard to find certain people and certain subcultures on social media.
Yeah, well, they're
And
policing promotion. So this is a new thing. I don't know if you are aware of this.
well,
It's certainly
it really depends on how you format that and whatnot. I'd be happy to take a call after this. I mean, not directly after this, but if you want to reach out to me, I mean, I can talk to you further about that.
sure. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. Not a problem, Alex. Thank you for the question. So in regards to using strong call to action, just tell everybody what to do and how to buy your products, because people are not going to they want to be told what to do. They want things easy. Don't click once. If you can click twice, tell them exactly, like subscribe to this email. This is what I want you to do. Not just like this email's great, or whatever it is. And tell them why. So just make sure that you're doing that on when you're trying to promote and sell things. Save your contacts. This is such a big one. I'm going to start skipping through because now we got 15 minutes. So one of the things I've been doing since I was a little kid is saving my contacts, and it's just tenfold, because email marketing is one of the best return on investments. And so like I did look for free email marketing programs, but I didn't see any. MailChimp used to have one, but they have like just 30 day trials and whatnot. But email marketing, when you can actually send all of all of your customers and your supporters and your vendors an email, and it's going directly to their phone at this point, and they're welcoming it and they're not unsubscribing, that's like great marketing. But in regards to no marketing, no money marketing, then just make sure you save your contacts now and start hoarding them. And we want emails. We want first name, last name, email, and usually the company name. Address and phone number would be great too. That could just be saved in your cloud contacts. It's going to be important for marketing later on. Some awesome marketer like me is going to be like, I need your emails. Just export them so I can put them in this program and make magic happen. So that's my thing about contacts. Attend free networking events. So when you're a new business or when you're any business, tourism might be a little bit different, depending on, because that seems more like, hit the networks instead. But for small business, that's localized, free networking is good. I personally don't like networking events that are online because I think that you just don't get everything out of it. So, but the chambers have always been super great for me. I used to work at Main Biz at one time at Bandcamp. So I was in I was an account manager. So I went to everything that Maine Biz had. So we're associated with all of the organizations, the trade associations, everything in the state of Maine. So it was nice for me as a young kid. I was like, oh, I'm going to go to every single one of these because these are great. I'm learning and I'm networking. So just anything that you can find that's free would fall under our no money marketing. And networking is amazing. The more people you know, the more you go. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And I firmly believe that because it's going to create partnerships, it's going to create referrals, so on and so forth. And then I think I have some more slides. We're a little bit of time. So ask questions, be excited. Don't just go there and eat the food and leave. Like you gotta get out there. Sometimes they're business breakfasts, or breakfasts or food or whatever, and then like it's a presentation and you just kind of sit back, but you can still introduce yourself to the people you're sitting with by saying, hi, I'm Tracy O'Clair, and make sure their name, and then ask for a business card. And then give them a business card. If you don't have a business card, write it down on a back of piece of paper. Hey, I don't have a business card yet, but this is me, and I'm going to follow up with you. And that's why I like LinkedIn, because almost every business owner, like you can connect with them on LinkedIn, but their emails and their jobs change, but you're still the same. So you still have that audience over there. And then and it doesn't have to be a business event as well. This could be, if you're selling something in craft, you go to craft shows. If you're you know what I'm saying? If you're in the wedding industry, you go to a wedding show. You can be the attendee and they're the vendors, and you're still meeting people, or you're meeting the people that are at the audience. If you're selling beer, you're going to beer events. If you're, I'm just, boat shows, I'm going to the home boat show. But that doesn't, I don't know if that lines up with the tourism. But anyways, yeah, there's just so many different events that you can go to. And what I like to say is always be networking. I know that the term used to be always be selling, but you don't want to be that person that one of your customers or your potential customers sees you at the grocery store or the, local restaurant or whatever, and you're like, hey, this is what I'm selling again and again, because they're not going to want to talk to you. So you want to get personal with people. You want to develop a relationship. Don't necessarily just talk about business, but also, this is what I'm doing now, because you're excited about it, because you know it's great and you want your business to strive. So you should be excited about your business. Develop media relationships. So this is great for no money marketing. Is getting press exposure. So doing something newsworthy, could be a charity, could be you're partnering up with a charity run, or you're releasing a new product, or you have a new addition. It could also be, I am now the president of my new LLC, just hired by myself. And so I'm going to put it in all the newspapers. People like to know who's who and who's doing what. And sometimes it's it is release like worthy. And that's something you can just kind of watch your local news, whoever you're targeting and whatnot. And sometimes it's at least social media worthy, right? So it's like, hey, this is something new. This is an announcement. Everybody, like I said, they want to know these things. And then if you are in a business where you want to send regular press releases, or at least when something actually happens, like events are good, depending on the event. I would create a media list for your industry or your local area. So there's just, look up the media that is in your industry. So there could be coaching magazines there. I'm sure there's boat tour industry or media, sorry. But I'm not sure, like, okay, whoever's doing the boat tour, like, what kind of boat tours and where are they? Are they still on here? Hannah, do you still have that info in there?
Just said, I'm scrolling back. I'm scrolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was Peter. Just said boat tour business. Peter, if you want to unmute and share a little bit more, you're welcome to.
Is he here?
Yep, he's
He
still
might
on the
not.
call.
Okay. All right. So I'm assuming it's boat tours in Maine, on a coast of Maine.
I think that's probably a safe bet.
That would make sense. Yeah, whether it's sailboats or this or that. So you're still locally, you could partner up with like a food vendor or like another attraction where it's like, come in and you're gonna do a boat tour here, but for this set price, you're gonna go to this brewery and then you're gonna do whatever. And then you'd use all of your list and all of your marketing to push that out. I would definitely put that under my no money marketing, but it's going to take time. And then everybody has to, do their proper posting and send out their emails and so on and so forth. And just tagging back and forth with the hospitality industry is great. Networking within your local community. So if you're in Camden, Maine, selling boat tours, it's a good chance you're not doing that during the winter time. So like just knowing your network, your community, and what you can do to help out, as well as like who are your people that you're bringing up during the summertime, and then that way when that person's traveling to wherever they're going during the winter time, they can be like, hey, yeah, Ed, well, Peter owns a boat tour company, he's a great guy, you should bring the family up and do that. So but with regular press releases, if you have something newsworthy, send it out. We usually send them out on Tuesday to the audience, but my copywriter and my press guy like had a relationship with these people, and then he follows up with Thursday and he's like, did you get that? And then about 2 weeks later he does a report on everywhere it's been published. So not that to say you should go through all of that, but it's good to know that you got something published, and then you can put it on social media. All right, analytics and tracking. Just keep track of things. Look at your analytics. Get excited about your analytics. So if you have a Facebook group, go in, or a Facebook page, go into the back end to the insights and see who are these people, because that's going to give you a lot of information about who's your target market and who you're attracting. So the content that you put out might be attracting the wrong people, to be honest. Because you might be posting about this, I don't know, like your healthy lifestyle, but you're selling something to men. That sounds weird. That was probably not the right term. But like basically, if somebody's not interested in health, and then you don't want to be, and you're not selling anything about health, then you don't want to be posting about anything like that. Sorry. My brain's like crashing out right now. Okay, let's go back. So go into your analytics, look at your sales leads in regards to the business you close. So that's where I was going with that. So the leads that come in, that you want them to be qualified. So you want to make sure that these are like somebody that would actually buy. Do they have enough money? Are they the right fit? And then so count how many leads you have coming in from whatever marketing you're doing. And then from the sales end, you want to count like how much was that closed, so that you have a loop for marketing. So like marketing is basically just support. It's sales support. It's not sales. So marketing is here, we're putting all the information out. We're getting leads. You have a website here. We have email marketing directing to the website. We have social media directing and advertising and press releases and everything going to this one hub of the online presence, like we were talking about at the beginning. And then you have a contact form there. And that's going to be your lead generation, or the phone call is attached to some analytics. So then we're going to count everybody that filled out the contact form, and then somebody's going to say these were qualified. I called them. It made sense, and then it's a matter of how much did you sell? So if all of your time, if you have a big project, like a big ticketed item where it's like 200,000, so that would be like construction or something like that. That kind of clarifies like how everything's working, and is it a good return on your investment? Obviously no money should be good, but then you need to figure out like where do you divide your time in regards to what's making the most money, right? So look for feedback from customers. That's always great. Ask them questions. How have I been doing? Is there something that I can do better? Just to know how they feel and what's valuable to them. And then you can use that for marketing. If you're a retail store, foot traffic, count your foot traffic. Where's that coming from? When you do something. So if you're like, hey, there's a special sale Friday to Monday, did we get a lot of foot traffic? Did we get any online sales? Did we get, you know, the event attendees, so on and so forth. With email marketing, if anybody's doing email marketing like Constant Contact or MailChimp or so on and so forth, there's the only two things you're looking at that is like the open rates and the click-through rates. So open rates are like who actually opened the email, and then click-through rates are who's clicked into whatever links that you have in there. Those are valuable because the open rate is really based on the subject line, which should be written by like a headline, and it catches their attention. And then with the click through rates, it's a matter, you can say you had two products in there. You can see who clicked out to, who likes this better or whatever. And you can segment it from there. So if you had like baseballs here and golf balls here, a promotion for each, and you know that the people that play golf click that link and the people that play baseball click the other link. And then just look for opportunities and failures and keep on um, posting and doing your marketing, but then look at your analytics every so often. So I would say at least once a month, once every couple months, maybe you're pre-scheduling, then you go back into pre-scheduling, look at your data to see how that works. So you're not doing stuff that's failing. So yay, this is my last slide and I got 5 minutes. So basically, if you're doing marketing, you want to write down a plan. And I was thinking, because when we originally talked, Hannah, you said we had like 5 registrants. So I was like, okay, these are all going to be like super small, and they're not going to have websites or businesses, just because I've worked with Score and I know Score's audience and whatnot. So I think that so it really depends on like, do you have a budget? Do you not have a budget? Because it seems like some people in here have a budget. So I would say no money marketing, you're a small business. But either way, everybody needs an actionable plan. So if you're just starting out with your business, I'm going to primarily be talking to you right now. Just you don't have to do your Google business right now, but decide what you can do in the next 24 hours, decide what you can do in the next week and the next month, and make that a goal, make it achievable, do it, and then keep making goals forward. Cause I think that's we stray away. We have personal life, we have, um, just everything in life. Your car breaks down. And so it's just, have a goal for your marketing and your sales and your business and so on and so forth. But marketing in particular, everything that I basically just said with all the social media accounts and the business and have an online presence, plus going to networking events. I think it works. Another good trick for starting out, which I've done, and I don't know if anybody's a BNI member around here, but they have BNI groups all over the place. And so it's Business Networking International, and it's a paid for group, but they always need guest people. So, as part of their program, they have to bring guests in there. So you can go to multiple BNI groups and just say who you are and get business cards because that's what they do. So I would recommend anybody super small and that need to network and get their name out there to go to a couple BNI groups in different areas. I like that. That's all I got. So I'm open for questions.
Right. Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, if people
Thank
do
you.
have questions, we've got a couple minutes left, so feel free to type them into the chat if you'd like me to read them out, or you can go ahead and unmute and just ask Tracy
Yeah.
directly.
And again, anybody, I mean, people can contact me if they want to talk. Like, I don't mind taking a little bit of my time to talk to help fellow business owners and whatnot. Just like maybe a 30-minute consultation or something like that. I'm cool with that. Just find my email and it's on the slide deck, or you can just search me and reach out to me. And I don't mind
Tracy,
giving a little bit of my time.
we
Yeah.
really appreciate that. The other thing I really enjoyed is I saw Linda reached out to Alex about website development. So one of the things that Hannah and I try to do is not just to have presentations, but actually this is a networking event as well, right? Because it is pretty lonely, being an entrepreneur. And
Mm.
I think kind of having a group of people be able to get together and maybe find some mutual interest is important as well. So it's really nice, Tracy, you set this up that there's a lot of good interaction. So yeah,
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I like talking about no. I like the title of it, No Money Marketing. I think I might repeat it at some point. And I'm happy to present with you guys again. Just like I got to put together a schedule for next year, anyways, Q1. But if you feel the need, if you think I did an okay job,
very, very valuable tips, and especially ones that, and also I think your final slide is really important too, is, after you get off this call, just name one thing that you're going to do in the next week. It can be something small, but just get started on having an action plan. Um, so that maybe is the challenge from this session. But Hannah, as always, I don't think we have our January date set up yet.
No, we're still working on plans for the rest of this program series in the new year. So stay tuned to the library's communications and to SCORE's communications, and hopefully we'll see everybody back after the turn of the year.
Yeah, and if you have any ideas about topics, just send them to Hannah, and
Yeah, we
we'll make
always want
sure
to
that
know
we
what
get
people are interested
speakers
in.
that are relevant. So thanks,
For
everyone.
sure.
Thank you, Tracy.
that's
Have a great
great.
day,
Yeah, thank
everybody.
you. Have a good day. Stay warm.